They were often military guys, not the kind of folks who relished a rah-rah speech unless it was before a bombing raid. They might have gotten a kick out of this, landing without communications, at night, at a tiny airport in the Colorado mountains outside Steamboat Springs. 2 miles, 214 knots, still the tailwind. "What goes up must come down," she said. "That's odd." "Sorry, I just meant we went up in the air. We gotta come down. This is good a time as any." "No." "What?" 1,500 feet. "Flaps 15, he announced. "Never mind. The other thing." "Jerry?" She allowed herself to turn to her first officer and co-pilot. He was more than a head taller than her, thin and bordering on gangly, long arms and legs. His elbows always seemed to be in the way. He hunched his neck in the way of someone uncomfortable with his height when he was in middle school, and so took to shrinking in. Still, to those who didn't know him, he struck a pilot's confident pose. Eleanor knew him. This kind of pressure could get to him. It's why she had been pressing him on the communications. It's okay. When I pressed the foot brake, it was a little givey," he said. "At 1,000. And now?" "Less. I got this." Less than a mile out, 150 knots. "Final flaps?" "At 30. It's just the instrument panel. Did you see it a second ago?" "Jerry, I can see the ground, okay? We need to focus. The panel looks okay." "It blinked." "It looks fine to me. We're at 500. "It blinked on and off. He shook his head and didn't finish the thought. She clicked on her headset and spoke. "Hayden traffic, this is Delta 194. We're in final, downwind from 2. More static. The plane decelerated with that vacuum roar, touched down with 3 bumps, and raced into a taxi, the mid-sized jet speeding down the strip. Eleanor exhaled loudly with enormous relief. Ahead and through the flight deck window on both sides, she could make out the tiny airport lit only by the hazy light from the nose. "I think a drink is in order," Jerry said. "Or 5. Eleanor felt an urge to discourage him, but decided to let Jerry have his fantasy that they might, at last, share cocktails at some hotel port of call. "They put us at a lodge over by the mountain," he said. She held her tongue. But it wasn't only because she didn't want to be presumptuous about Jerry's overture. It was the eerie nature of the airport, unusually quiet, even for this time of night. In her left hand, she held the intercom to communicate to the passengers, and on her lips she held the words, "Welcome to Steamboat," but she couldn't get them out. She pressed the button to talk, and what came out was, "This is the captain. Please keep your seats for a moment. We're getting some unusual weather." She depressed the button and stared out the window. "What weather? Eleanor, what are you talking about?" He stopped fiddling with the landing protocol. He looked over at her. "What are you—" "Look." She was mesmerized by the image in front of the plane. "What the—" "Oh, my God." Part 1. Steamboat. 1. "Dr. Martin?" The voice came from the distance, echoed, died out. Lyle looked down at a square oak dinner table, carved with names and initials he couldn't make out, deep grooves etched inexpertly with a jagged blade. In the middle of the table stood an overstuffed burlap sack. It overflowed with fine white powder. Next to it, a small, clear plastic medicine cup. Lyle picked